You know, it's not just reasonable skeptics and transparency advocates who are not buying the Mitch McConnell proof of life picture. It's even MAGA. And even some people in my audience just aren't buying it. So I want to go over this with you and just think through whether there is something here or it's really much ado about nothing. And there's a phrase that sometimes is a relevant phrase, which I love. And it's just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they aren't after you. And could it be relevant here in the sense of even if you always see conspiracies, might you stumble across one sometime? Let's break it down. And I want to think through this all very critically. Now, the backstory on all of this is that it is now 1 month to the day since Mitch McConnell, former Senate Majority Leader, went to the hospital. For 28 of those 30 days, we had no idea why Mitch McConnell was there. There were demands for proof of life, and they finally reached a fever pitch on Sunday. And Mitch McConnell's social media accounts put out a statement saying he's in the hospital because he fell. He briefly lost consciousness. He didn't break anything and also had mild pneumonia. So he ended up staying in the hospital and then moving to rehab. Included along with the statement was this picture that we're putting up on the screen of Mitch McConnell sitting next to his wife, Elaine Chao, and holding what appears to be the Sunday sports section from the Washington Post. That picture is not convincing to a lot of people. I got an email, in fact, from a viewer who wrote in and said, David, this just isn't really making any sense to me. Writing in, quote, is the Mitch McConnell photo real? I got to say, David, this is Andrew. I got to say, David, after the events of this weekend, I have never been more excited for your analysis. Do you think this Mitch McConnell photo showing proof of life is not at the very least Photoshopped to make him look healthier? Why not release a video as proof? Any feel bad for Lindsey Graham's loved ones, mainly because, I guess this person is saying, I also feel bad for Lindsey's loved ones because he's probably in hell. All right, let's deal with the McConnell thing. That's someone in our audience. Meanwhile, a lot of right-wingers also don't believe it. For example, Laura Loomer posted, how come Mitch McConnell's staff won't release a video of him? A photo could have been taken at any time. I call BS. The American people aren't stupid. And then former Utah Congressman and now a Fox News contributor, Jason Chaffetz, posted, let's see you say it. A written statement is far different than saying it on camera. Let me give you the full list of problems people have with this picture, and then we'll examine each of them. In the picture, McConnell is sitting with his wife, Elaine Chao, but his wife is in China, so that's not possible. That one's easily debunked. She was in China on June 17th. That's weeks ago. Sort of weird that she was there 3 days after her husband fell unconscious and ended up in the hospital. But just because she was in China on June 17th doesn't mean that she's not in the United States with Mitch McConnell on July 12th, which I guess was the date of the picture, supposedly. Other said there's nothing on the walls, and it even looks like there's a blank painting behind them, which has nothing on it. That must be some weird AI thing. Maybe, but that might also just be an HVAC cover. I don't know that that's really like a huge bombshell. Then they said, well, if you look at the sports pages that Mitch McConnell is holding, the text is totally scrambled like AI. And indeed, people started comparing the sports page in Mitch's hand with a high resolution image of Sunday's paper and going, is this even really the same paper? And people are saying, look at the text. It doesn't match up with the real sports page. I'll be honest, I can't tell. It does look roughly like it matches up, but it's also sort of like low resolution. I don't know, but those are some of the problems people have had with the picture. Donald Trump was asked about the Mitch McConnell situation, and he basically said, I don't know anything about it. I don't know if he's okay. I'm not a big fan of him, by the way.
At all. A couple more quick things. We got to respect your time. Did you see the video, or the picture, I should say, of Mitch McConnell this weekend? And what do you think of his outlook? What are you hearing?
Well, I don't hear much. I was, never a huge fan, but he's one of the people. He should be voting for John Thune, because, John Thune was loyal to him, whether you like John Thune or not. John Thune was very loyal to Mitch McConnell. And Mitch McConnell's like a no vote on Save America Act, which is, basically, you think about it, it's voter ID, it's proof of citizenship, and it's no mail-in ballots except for the military disabled, sick, or if you're sick, or traveling, which is pretty generous right there. But the mail-in ballots might be the most important of those three items. But he's against that. Now, how can anybody be against that? And against some other things. So it's too bad. But, I hope he's going to be fine. I don't know if he's fine, but I certainly hope he's going to be fine.
It's increasingly hard to believe that Trump hasn't been briefed on the health status of one of the most senior senators in Trump's party currently in the Senate. Very, very hard to believe. And there are people who think that Trump's ambivalence on it and just going, I don't really know much about it, is evidence that something weird is going on. What do people in my audience think? Leave me a comment. Send me an email, info@davidpakman.com. If you send an email, just put McConnell. I want to hear from you. But what is extraordinarily interesting is that there at least is one Republican senator who goes, I don't really know about this picture, which is fascinating. And I want to talk about that next. Hearing aids have gotten shockingly expensive. Paying thousands of dollars for basic hearing aids does not add up. That is what our sponsor, MD Hearing, is here to fix. MD Hearing offers rechargeable digital hearing aids for less than 10% of what you'd pay at a traditional hearing clinic. MD Hearing's new Neo model fits inside the ear. It's nearly invisible. The Neo XS is their smallest hearing aid ever. No bulky hardware, no learning curve. Family friend of mine has used MD Hearing for years now. She loves the affordability. She thinks the virtual appointments are so convenient with MD Hearing's team of audiologists to help with the device from home. MD Hearing has sold over 2 million hearing aids, with customers consistently saying they outperform devices that cost up to 10 times more. Every purchase comes with a 60-day trial and a 100% money-back guarantee. For a limited time, MD Hearing is giving my audience a pair of hearing aids for just $247, plus you'll get a free extra charging case, a $100 value. Go to shopmdhearing.com. Use my promo code PAKMAN. The link is in the description.